This is Sasy Scarborough of SasyPants.com, and today I'm doing a video tutorial on how to do minor adjustments, edits to photos for fashion blogging and Second Life. When editing is used, it's not always to glam up a photo, it can be just to fix little abnormalities or little issues that arise with Second Life animations and clothing, just different things that can happen that you may or may not realize until after the photo shoot. A lot of times you can adjust things in world so that they don't occur, but you can also end up finding out 10 hours later, once you've changed 15 other times, that there's no going back. So this is how I would rectify that. In this case, they're not hugely noticeable areas, but for some people they just make them a little bit eek. The first area is this section here. I don't know if my mouse is actually showing that properly. My cursor, here you go. This area here where the base of my thumb is poking through the cuff of the suit, and the same here. I could adjust the wrists and have had that not occur, but I like to play in Photoshop sometimes. So let's get started. First thing I always do is Control J to make a new copy of the same layer. Try and always make sure you work with copies, and sometimes I'll have 15 copies of something because you don't want to damage your original. Then zoom in on the area, which is Control plus symbol as many times as you need to, and move it aside. What I'm going to do here is there are different steps to do the same thing, but this is how I would manage it. I select the pen tool, which looks like a fountain pen nib, for those old enough to actually know what a fountain pen is. Select the area of the denim that I want, just as easy as that. Make selection, which puts the little ants around it, and again Control J makes you a piece of that. So that's a good tip for anything you want to select a piece of. Then I've got that selected. I use the move tool and I move the right to the left to give me a kind of mirror of the item. I move it into place, which is easier to see. Applying the transformation is easier to see once I move the selections, which looks pretty good. Now what I could do here is it's actually more awesome than what I had to begin with. What I can do here is just either shave off using the eraser tool the areas that I don't need, go back a tiny bit, like so, and I could do that. Control Z to go back to what I was doing, or what I can do is use the selection again, hold down Control and bring it in manually, give me a little bit more wiggle room, which also keeps it a little bit better to scale. Apply the transformation. Okay, and that's pretty good. It all sort of looks the same over here. The only issue you would have is kind of up here. Control J to make a copy, so that if I don't like the outcome, I'm using the hue saturation, so that was because I wasn't talking. Image adjustments, hue saturation. I can go to the saturation and bring it down a little bit because this area was in shadow, so it's a little bit darker, and I can just make it a little bit darker, not too much. It's probably a little bit too dark, like that. And then the smudge tool, which is like your pointer finger just like running along the paper. And if I use a little bit of blur, that kind of just brings that all together. So it's sort of becoming the same guy. That was there all along. It's true, it's true. It never happened. You never saw my hand poking through at all. It was a figment of your imagination. So that part's done. This of course isn't the one that ended up on my blog, but that was a couple of days ago. But I'm just I thought, I should have filmed it at the time. But anyway, so again, Control J, giving me a new copy. And this I'm doing a little bit differently. Again, grabbing the pen tool, doing a point there, and then a point roughly there. And if you pull it, you get a curve rather than a straight line. And then just close them together, right click, make selection. When you make a selection, anything you do inside the selection is affected, but nothing outside the area can be affected. So if you happen to have really bad colouring outside the lines kind of issues, it won't matter. If you slip right outside there, you can't actually do anything, as you can see. See, like that. It doesn't it doesn't do anything to the outside area. That being said as well, if you wanted to do only to the outside area but wanted to protect that area, you could go to layer, to select and then press inverse, and it would do it the other way around, or you would use Shift Control I inverse. That makes sense. I don't know all the shortcuts, I only know the ones that Mel drums into my head. Okay, so smudge tool, it's a little bit light at 8%. Throw it up. Make my brush a little bit bigger. I was using the bracket key to do that. It's a little bit more natural. And there you go. Voila, that's done. That looks how it should. Control minus brings it back, and then you can or cannot or may not want to do anything else to the picture. But what may seem unedited, and I even did quotation marks in real life, is often really edited, but just not in a meow meow sort of way. I hope you liked that, or it helped, or something. Have a great day, and I hope to do more in the future. Have a great one.